Kathy Caprino, and welcome to my weekly video blog, Work You Love, where I address one key career, job-related, or work-life question from you. So let's jump right in. Today's question is from Katie, and it's all around work-life balance. Katie says, I work at a Fortune 100 company, and I really enjoy my role. I've been there 9.5 years and have been recognized and rewarded for my work, and I feel that I'm making an impact. The problem is, now that I have a 3-year-old daughter, I'm finding it incredibly hard to balance work with parenting and being with her as I want to. I used to stay at work all hours of the night, but now I want and need to leave by 5:30 to pick her up and spend quality time with her. My husband travels a lot and can't be there often. How can I juggle all this better? I'm really struggling. Well, Katie, I want you to know I feel that this is one of the top challenges working women face today. And yes, men face this as well, but I feel through my research and working with lots of women that women process this challenge and experience this challenge differently. And it is quite intense. You're not alone there. I would like to also say that you can read about 1,000 articles and books and watch talks all around work-life balance. Everyone has a different viewpoint. Some say, forget it, there's no such thing, and pursuing it is a pipe dream. I do not believe that in any way, shape, or form, because what is the alternative? If we don't believe there is work-life balance, what does that mean? It means we're just going to exclusively focus on what we do for a living. I believe that we're much more than that. We have different talents and strengths and passions and interests. And it's not all about what we do for a living and what we do, even if our job is our calling. But what do we do about it? How do we get more work-life balance? There are 3 critical strategies. And if you take these, you will find more and you will create more work-life balance. The first is you've got to know what you want and know what you'll give up everything for. What does this mean? It means figure out what your life priorities are and honor those in everything you do. So I'm hearing in your question, for instance, it's critical for you to leave at 5:30 and be with your daughter. Well, I know when I was raising my kids, they're 16 and 19 now, but when they were little, I knew there were certain things that I needed to do as a parent that if I didn't, at the end of my time, I would look back and sorely and painfully regret it. You've got to know what those things are for you. So if being with your daughter and leaving at 5:30 is one of those things, then that's a priority and you have to honor it. There's just no question. It's a non-negotiable, right? Know what you care deeply about. The second strategy is, in order to do that, you have to develop very strong boundaries. Boundaries are a concept that I learned in my therapy training that has been life-changing for me. And I think literally, I'm not exaggerating, it's the single most important thing we can do, develop healthy, strong boundaries if we want a happy life and a successful career. So quickly, what are boundaries? The way I conceive of them is that they are the invisible barrier between you and your outside systems that regulate the flow of input and information. So you and your outside systems, meaning you and your work, you and your boss, you and your church or synagogue, you and your kid's school, right? So it's the boundary that regulates the flow of information. Now, you can look at them on a scale. And on this side is overly diffuse boundaries, where you don't know where you end and other people begin. You just take everything in. It completely floods you, what comes in from the outside. You basically catch every ball that's thrown at you. So if someone rolls their eyes because you're leaving at 5:30, you agonize about that for hours. On the other side of the spectrum are rigid boundaries, impermeable boundaries. You can't get in. And that's disengagement. And that's not healthy either. You can't have a healthy life that way. You're living like an island. If you're a parent and you're disengaged, for instance, you have no idea of the internal life of your child. You're completely cut off. So either side, not healthy. What you want is the middle. You want healthy, strong boundaries where you know who you are and you know how to support your priorities. And the truth is, you are going to rub up against people and beliefs that clash with yours. That's life. The question is, how are you going to deal with that? And you deal with that by having strong boundaries. The third strategy is to overcome your perfectionistic overfunctioning. What do I mean by that? Almost every woman I've ever worked with who is successful and achievement oriented has a little bit of those two traits. Perfectionistic, they need to get an A in everything they do, and overfunctioning. They're doing more than is necessary, more than is appropriate, and more than is healthy. Well, it's got to stop. In order to have the balance that you want, in order to have the life and the career that you want, you can't get an A in everything. You can't. What you need to do is look at those priorities, see what matters to you most and what matters least, and all the way in between, and decide what you'll get an A in and what you'll be happy with a B and a C in. You just can't be perfect every minute of the day. You can't sustain it, and it'll make you miserable. The second piece about overfunctioning, look around you. Where are you doing more than is appropriate? So many women, particularly in their family lives, are doing more than they should, more than is healthy for the self-reliance of your children and your spouse. In your work life, where are you doing too much? Where are you doing work that your peers should be doing, that your staff should be doing, that your assistant should be doing, right? Where are you even doing work that your boss should be doing? Look at where you are overfunctioning and take a step to be less perfectionistic and less overfunctioning. Take those three strategies, do those three strategies, and you will claim and create more work-life balance. I promise you. All right, I hope you found that useful. Thank you so much. Click the link below and send me your question, and I'll do my best to address it in the weeks to come. See you next week.